Hi, everyone. It's Victoria Amadea with Psyche Alchemica. And today I wanted to cover some items that were suggested to me by fellow magicians of subjects to discuss. So, first, some quick housekeeping items. I got a professional microphone, very fancy. One of my magician brothers had an extra one that he sent to me. And right now I am recording in StreamYard. Sorry, I'm not on video. I will try to be in video in my upcoming um, YouTube videos. So, first, someone asked about integrating both mundane and profound magical experiences for self actualizing as a human being in whatever ways are most meaningful to a practitioner. So this is a very interesting question because as you all know, we experience mundane life, but also as practitioners, we have these really profound moments where we kind of go beyond the concrete world and experience different states of being, different energies, different powers, yet we are still in the flesh. So, how do you integrate these? So, first, I would say to first get a handle on yourself in the muggle world, your physical reality, and work on cultivating that so that it's grounded and established. Now, we all have areas for improvement, but say you want to work on having a career or getting married or having kids or moving somewhere, or you have personal goals that you want to achieve outside of magic. Get your muggle self, your everyday persona, organized and with their SHIT together. You want to have your earthly self on a decent trajectory. Now, of course, life things come up, things happen, you have to pivot, you have to go through things. But one of the first initial advices I would say is make sure your everyday self is orderly, balanced, working on goals. Give yourself some grace. We might all have areas for improvement, but make sure the dishes aren't in the sink for too long, the laundry's getting done, that the car oil is getting changed, that you're paying your bills, that you're showing up to your job, you're showing up to your friendships and relationships. Make sure, even if you didn't do magic, you would still feel accomplished as an everyday person. Now, as you probably are a magical practitioner, being one of my listeners, we also have these profound magical experiences. And we touch these states of being, but then we go back to our everyday life. And one point I want to start with on that is to make sure when you are having profound magical experiences that you are not chasing them under the hat of escapism, that you're not trying to seek magical experiences to solely exist in to escape your everyday reality. You have to face and manage and take care of your everyday reality as well. So, first, make sure you're balanced when you approach your profound magical experiences. And what I know what your objective is for going towards those, working on them, whether it's meditations or rituals. Now, when you start having these magical experiences, there can be a process to start integrating them into your everyday life. Kind of on a baseline, one thing I do is like I'll have my magical experiences and my morning magical sessions, but then sometimes I'll just kind of discharge that energy and then go about my day just as a normal muggle person. However, we also have an opportunity in each and every moment to practice magic and the great now and work on our abilities. So, The simple things like if you're a Bardenist, when you take a shower, you can use the magic of water to remove negative energies, or to impress certain energies upon you with cold water. You can also load your food and drink or magnetize them. You can charge rooms. You can utilize different energies. You can focus on, say, transfer of consciousness energy when talking to people. Or you can read someone that you're having a conversation with and see, okay, what does this person need, or where are they coming from, so I can kind of understand the best way to um, navigate or direct or unfold or participate in this conversation. But then there's also a magic, and to the question on using all of this for self actualization, all of it can be used for self actualization. But first, allow each of them to stand on their own. So we're going to look at them separately, but then how they can be unified as one. So you have your muggle everyday self. You have your magical self. And I believe Dion Fortune calls that the magic personality. So in your day-to-day life, you may come across one way or have a certain personality, but when it comes to what you embody in spirit, that energy signature might be quite different, who you are and how you express yourself on the spiritual planes. So, first, acknowledge that there's these different registries that you have because you have multiple bodies. You have a physical body, you have an astral body, you have a mental body, an etheric body. So, you have these different bodies that are registering in different planes. And we also have the law of polarity and the forces of lightness and darkness. And within those, there's different types of energy signatures, like, say, happiness and sadness. So at any moment, your consciousness from your mental body or your emotions from your astral body can be pinging and registering to any state. So at the very basic level, you can say, okay, let me get into the state of observation. Where am I registering right now? And learn to witness these things without first becoming over identified with them. So the one of the first exercises in Franz Barden's system, his first book, Initiation into Hermetics, is learning to watch your thoughts from the state of the observer. And that is key as a magician, because you need to be able to watch phenomena happening without becoming entangled in it. You have to be able to identify and see it and allow it to arise and fall, come and go, pass, unfold in its own rhythm without taking it in and internalizing it. Now, there may be a practice where or a reason you want to internalize things and connect with things and participate in their rhythms, but you also want to have the ability to be able to separate yourself from them and observe them. So, how does that tie back to integrating both the mundane and profound magical experiences? Observe both of your experiences, as your normal self, your muggle self, your magical self, but have that equanimity. Like, okay, while I am being normal, I'm being normal. While I'm being magical and a magician, that is what I'm being. However, while I said at the beginning, we may identify these two as separate, there can actually be a marriage between the two, where your magical self infuses the everyday life. And that is something that kind of like a will, it takes a while to cultivate and get into that rhythm. Or I can say from my personal experience at least. So, for example, if you have a practice where you start to cultivate different faculties and senses and abilities, you can seek, how do I integrate this into everyday normal things I'm doing. When you are shaking hands with someone you just meet, you can use that connection to read them. When you're talking with someone, you can get a sense of what is going on with this person, or what should I say to help this person or navigate it. Or when you are washing dishes, very a favorite thing, you can focus on being fully present, like using dishes or some other kind of house chore that you may not be inclined to do. Instead of having hesitation to do it, say, okay, every time I'm going to do this, I'm going to focus on being fully present. So rather, if you catch yourself getting caught up in a train of thought, or if you're getting caught in any kind of emotional states, you can either do, okay, I'm going to just observe these and not attach them to them, or you can say, nope, I'm going direct to what I'm doing. One of my favorite exercises in this is to get very granular and identify each thing. So you say, okay, my right hand is reaching forward. I'm grabbing the sponge. I'm pulling it back. The elbow's at my waist. My left hand is grabbing the dish from the sink. I'm lifting it up at a 45-degree angle. There's soap on the sponge. I am now washing it in a circular motion. There is a crust here that I have to dig into. I'm applying pressure with my left nail because it's stubborn. Okay, it came out. I am putting the sponge down. I am now putting the plate under the faucet. I'm reaching to the faucet, turning it on with my right hand to rinse it off. It's rinsed off. Now I'm shaking it off, and now I am moving the dish into the dishwasher with both of my hands. I'm putting it at so you can train yourself and your consciousness, to go into these littlest things, or even about, okay, I'm walking, I'm lifting my knees, I'm putting, you know my left foot is forward, my ankle is flexing, so on and so on and so on. Now when it comes to like the most meaningful way to integrate both of these, I think it's kind of an exploratory experience for each practitioner, based on who you are, your constitution, kind of your circumstances. We all have different circumstances, or even areas of things you want to be focusing on. How to do that meaningfully to you is going to vary person to person. But one thing that I tend to be a champion of is, first, acknowledge and appreciate where you are. You have to like look at your surroundings, look at your current state, for better and worse, and say, this is where I am and I accept it. So one, there's no resistance, there's no denial, there's no struggle. You say, okay, what is my current state? Whether it's for the hour, for the day, for the week, for the year. And okay, this is what I'm working with. Because that is allowing you to tap also beyond just time, but into space. Your mind is not getting lost in a loop, but you're saying, okay, what is reality right now? Okay, if I can identify what reality is right now, now I can start identifying and acknowledging, okay, what do I want to do right now? What can I magically work on? So that's my quick bit on integrating both mundane and profound magical experiences for self actualization. And then I had also a suggestion to talk about the role, whether existing or possible, of Ma'at in Hermeticism. Now, Ma'at is an Egyptian goddess, and she's the personification of truth, justice, and cosmic order. She's also the daughter of the sun god Re, and was associated with Thoth, god of wisdom, according to Britannica. So, this is a great question. One, Ma'at is an Egyptian deity, an Egyptian goddess, and Hermeticism, essentially was born out of ancient Egypt. And as a goddess of truth, justice, and order, I would not say she is the sole avatar for Hermeticism. We'll give that to Hermes Trismegistus. But she is an an icon for the principles of Hermeticism. So when you think about Hermeticism, it's usually without dogma. Now, you can be a Hermetic practitioner if you have any religious inclinations as well. You can be Christian and Hermeticist, you can be Buddhist and Hermeticist, you can be Hindu and Hermeticist. I've met several magicians who have, religious backgrounds and practices in addition to Hermeticism. However, in my view, Hermeticism is largely a universal religion. It is about it is about creation. It is about the universal laws and powers and forces, and depending on the flavor of Hermeticism, the planets, the zodiac, the elements, the spirits, the cosmic hierarchy that goes into creation. And also in the Hermetica, it talks a lot about all is mind and seeking the all being the creator of creation. Now, Mott, she's a personification of truth, and you can correlate truth to divinity, to what is the state and energetic registry of harmony and the creator. And the higher you go, the more clearly you can see truth. However, being in a human vessel, we're also subject to our filters being influenced by our own cosmic makeup. So if you have good or bad traits, if you have environmental forces, if you're in bad health and it kind of keeps you dragged down, these different things will color how much you can see and appreciate and what lens you are viewing the world or reality through. But also, Ma'at represents justice, and justice is in part about balance. I'm a big fan of justice. Um, I have a degree in law, and I feel like justice is important in the cosmic order because justice establishes order. You know, everything is permitted to operate within certain laws and are given certain leniencies and certain limitations. And if things go too far out of scale one way, then the pendulum has to pull it back the other way. So we also have these forces um, that are in play. So justice is also constantly being in play. And you might say since there are instances of injustice. And yes, that happens, but then also it is said the universe eventually brings everything back full circle. So even where there are instances of injustice in creation, justice is eventually restored somewhere, somehow in time and space. But Ma'at is also about cosmic order. So when you think about Hermeticism, it's kind of about appreciating. This is kind of my favorite nugget about Hermeticism. Not everyone has the same approach about this, but one thing I love about Hermeticism is it's learning the clockwork of creation. What are the wheels that make it turn? What are the markers? What are the indicators? What are the powers? What are the colors? And Ma'at is about cosmic order. So, from that vantage point, cosmic order is seeing and ensuring everything is fulfilling its proper purpose. And that was my question on the role of existing or possible of Ma'at and Hermeticism. I think that's all I'm going to talk about for now. I will get back to you guys soon. My goodness, it's almost 20 minutes. I'll try to be on video again soon, and I hope that the audio also came through much clearer this time. Thanks again for all your support. If you like this video, give it a like, give it a comment. If you have any questions, anything you'd like me to cover, let me know. And I hope you're all doing well, and I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.